A tense situation that played out for hours outside of an Illinois ICE facility yesterday as 15 anti-ICE protesters were arrested while clashing with state police. Chief U.S. Border Patrol Operating Commander Greg Bovino is in charge of Operation Midway Blitz in Chicago. He's been there for days. Chief, thanks for joining us today. What is your reaction to what is a tense situation you saw in that video, but really it's been going on for days there, endangering your agents and now state police?
Well, good morning and thanks for having me. That is indeed a tense situation there at Broadview. It's been that way for several weeks, as you say, and no let up in sight. So a lot of tempers flaring there with those protesters, but we're ready. Broadview is protected, and although the National Guard's not there, Griff, that facility's protected. We're not going to let anything happen to our agents, officers, or those detainees. And I must say, Illinois Highway Patrol is doing a good job.
Well, and Chief, what do you make of the fact that the governor of Illinois, Pritzker, and the mayor of Chicago, Brandon Johnson, claims to, in his words, be the leader of this resistance? What do you say to them?
Griff, I think they've even used that term rebellion now. So what I can say is that when President Trump uses the term insurrection, well, he was right yet again. What's the rebellion over, Griff? Is the rebellion over upholding illegal aliens over American citizens? Is that what the argument is here? Because that's what it seems like. And it's a sad state of affairs for the governor and the mayor. You talk about misplaced priorities.
Well, and, you know, you're to be commended for the work you're doing. Yesterday, I was highlighting the violent illegal alien criminals that have been taken off the streets during Operation Midway Blitz, which includes convicted murderers and child rapists, among many others. But yet, in all of this, it's put agents' lives at risk. You specifically had an alleged bounty put on your head, $2,000 to kidnap you, $10,000 to take you out. But yet, the lawyer for the alleged suspect is painting this individual as some sort of Illinois family man. They write this: Juan has resided in the U.S. for 30 years, and throughout his time in Chicago, he has had no prior criminal history or gang affiliation. He even coaches his kids' sports teams. Juan is innocent of these charges. Juan, his family and supporters remain steadfast in their confidence in his innocence and his character as a hardworking, law-abiding member of society. Your reaction, sir?
So here we have a hardworking Illinois man. It's amazing how that narrative plays over and over and over. I'll tell you what he was hardworking at. He was hardworking at being a illegal alien gang member. The Latin Kings was the gang he was affiliated with. He was also very hardworking at trying to kill, maim, or injure federal law enforcement agents. And unfortunately, that bounty still stands and has actually risen because Griff, the Latin Kings are associated with drug cartels, i.e. terrorist organizations. So those bounties remain and, in fact, have actually increased because of this, quote, hardworking man. It's unbelievable.
It's frightening to hear you say, Chief, that these bounties have increased. I've only got about 15 seconds, but quickly, how concerned are you that if this continues to escalate, one of your men and women could lose their lives?
Absolutely, and that's what we're focused on now, is conducting that mission, but conducting that mission in a very non-permissive environment. Let me tell you, the mission will continue. We will accomplish the mission. And, you know, it's a tough situation out there on the streets of Chicago.
Chief Gregory Bovino, be safe out there. Thank you for taking time today.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.